And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. Why? They have adjusted their eyes to the darkness. They have enjoyed the evil. They have enjoyed their wickedness so much till when the light even shines, they cover the light up. They don't want to see the light because their deeds are evil. So they reject the light. And they love darkness rather than light because of the evilness of their deeds, because of their wickedness. Folks are looking to get it all. A lot of folks are looking to get it all together. I hear this all the time when it comes to salvation, or when it comes to this walk. People say, well, I want to get it all together first. Well, that's been a lie that has been taught you. I don't know exactly where you got it from. I think a lot of it comes from people having this form of reverence for the Father, and they live this life hypocritically saying that they are something that they are not, and they give you this impression. So what you're thinking is you have to look like those that are inside of these four walls, this building called the church, and these people walk around acting like, and I say acting because there are people who have given their hearts to the Father and who are walking in the will of the Father, who are actually not living a life of sin. But I'm dealing with people that are religious, that are in the four walls, that give the impression to sinners that you have to get it all together before you come in here, because if you're going to be with us, you got to be just like us. Well, see, the Father's not looking for feigners. He's looking for true relationship. He's not looking to get in a relationship with somebody who's just going to pretend like they love him. He's looking to get in a relationship with someone that really does love him. It's kind of like a guy that's looking for a mate, but he doesn't want a woman that just loves him for what he has or for what he looks like. He wants a woman that loves him for who he is and who truly loves him. You understand what I'm saying? Not because of what she can get out of him. She's not pretending to love him just so she can satisfy her own needs or her own desires, but she truly loves him. The excuse has been that you want to try to get it all together before you come into this. What I'm telling you is that there is life after death. No matter what kind of death it is that you're experiencing, whether it's divorce, whether it's broken relationships, whether it's the death of a loved one, there is life after death, no matter what kind. But you have to choose this life, okay? You have to choose to live and not just exist and allow your circumstances to move you from place to place. I'd like to know how that whole getting it together before you get it right has been working out for you. I don't think that's working out too good either. Probably not. But again, let's get back to this. These people that feign relationship with the Father, they're in these four walls, these institutionalized places, this institutional religion mess. They're in that, and they're feigning this relationship with the Father. And so they're giving you this impression of something that is not true. So you feel like you have to get it together before you come. But I want to go to John 7:37. Let's go there. And we're going to read both 37 and 38. But I want to start with 37. It says, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. It's really just that simple. If you're thirsty, if you're in need, just come. It didn't say get it all together first before you come and experience this life that I'm talking about. It said just come. Okay, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. This is Yahushua speaking. He's saying, come unto me and drink. Verse 38 says this, he that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Now, when I read this, what I love about the word, let me tell you, I just want to take a sidebar note real quick, a commercial identification, just a station break. What I love about the word is that it is so massive. People think that they have coined some kind of bottom line on scripture. And it's so massive. When the Father inspired these words to be spoken and to be put in this book for our edification and for our learning, it encompassed so much, because when I read the scripture in verse 38, it said, he that believeth on me. First, let's deal with as the scripture hath said, because you're going to have a lot of people that come to you and say, this is what you need to do to be saved. Yeah, let me clear that up real quick, because that goes right back to this point I was making about you feeling like you got to get it all together before you experience this life. No. As the scripture hath said. He said, believe on me as the scripture hath said. So if you know what the scripture hath said on how to believe on him, then you're good to go. Not about the man-made doctrines and what they say you got to do. You got to jump backwards over 5 pews, and you got to stand on 1 foot and hop and shout and scream and run around the church and come down and shake the preacher's hand. No, 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 no. As the scripture had said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. What is this talking about? That you'll have the life-giving rivers right on the inside of you. You won't need to seek other places to get this life anymore, because the life will be on the inside of you, and it'll just come out of your belly like rivers, flowing like rivers of living water. Okay? So many people have a false concept of who my father is, and that's what the problem is. It's the false concept of who he really is. Religious institutions have run the game and made it so unreachable. We're still on that point. They've made it so unreachable. They've told you all these different things that you need to do to be saved, and they're just lying to you. You know, so they've made it unreachable. They've put it in a position where you feel like you can't obtain this, but salvation is so simple. It's so basic. The focus in institutionalized churches is that of religion. It's not about relationships. So they've so focused you on religious rituals that they've not taught you what relationship with the Father is. And a lot of that is because they just flat out don't know. Because I can't imagine someone knowing what relationship is and wanting to teach somebody something different. I've been in ritual. I understand what that's about. I understand what religion is about. I was once there. For 30 years, I was indoctrinated on religion. But it was after those 30 years that the Father began to share what the truth was. But see, you got to have a heart for truth in order to receive the truth. And this was my husband and I. Both of us. He began to share what truth was. And throughout our lives, truth was thrown at us. But when you're sitting in a religious institution, when truth is not reiterated and taught, see, the word says faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh. That hearing is a perpetual, it's ongoing hearing. So the truth was thrown at us from a lot of different places, I'm sure, throughout our lives. But when you're sitting in a religious, mind-screwing institution that is constantly giving you something other than truth, and you're bombarded with that, you never get to focus on what that truth is, but it's in there. Okay, but you have to have a heart for truth. Unless you reject it, that seed has been planted and it will grow. I'm telling you, after 30 years of religious mind-screwing, that stuff started to grow inside of me. And throughout the years, it was growing. I've mentioned this before. At age 16, I remember specifically the Father speaking to me. I was sitting in the car listening to some tracks that I had recorded. And he said to me, anybody that calls himself the church that is not operating as my son did when he was in this earth is none of mine. We're not even related. That's not me. That's not mine. Okay. And I heard that. I didn't reject it. I kind of absorbed it. And over a period of time, that thing began to be more real to me, and I began to understand it. After all those years of mind screwing, that thing came alive in me. And so when you see me and I'm violent about my faith, I'm violent about what the word says, I'm violent about it because just as in the Old Testament, how the prophets had to deal with liars and prophet-liars and the false prophets and the kings who wanted to oppose the truth and the stiff-necked Hebrews or the stiff-necked Israelites who decided they didn't want to obey the truth. Just like in the New Testament where the disciples were given assignments and they were carrying out those assignments and they always had people opposing them and they stood strong on the word of truth. Just like Yahushua, how he fought and he battled with those religious fools of his day and taught the truth of the words of his Father only. That's where we are. So I am violent about my faith because the souls of the people are more important to me than me making you feel good.